Hey folks, Troy Dooley here at MLM Help Desk and the Network Marketing Advocates. Want to do a quick update. I know it's Easter. First and foremost, forgive me for interrupting your family time. Did this myself. We do not usually report anything on a Sunday, let alone on a Easter holiday or for our Jewish community, the Passover. We just don't do this, but this is important. Oz over at MLM, or behind MLM, had put up an article last week questioning an action that Zeek Rewards did and alluding to a political difference. I got a little bit offended because I've seen Oz do better reporting than that, in my opinion, and stated that, did an article and said, look, I don't think it has anything to do with political differences that the owners of Zeek Rewards had with these countries. I think it probably had more to do with some international terrorism, cyber terrorism, stuff like that. Both of us were right, both of us were wrong. But here is what Paul Burks just sent down. This was not due to any political indifference he had. This is based on the United States government. There's an executive order that went into motion that stated if you do business with any country that's been sanctioned by the U.S., then you're liable. Paul went on to write in this news report that it looks like the majority of this anyway was U.S. affiliates signing people up outside the United States. This is where part of the article that I wrote is so important. The Treasury Department controls transactions in and out of the United States. Secret Service gets involved. In this situation, Paul and his team had no choice but to abide by the sanctions set down by the U.S. government. Here is where it gets tricky for distributors. If you're a distributor and you're acting as what they call a mule, you're doing transactions for people outside the United States so that they can do business in the United States, then you are violating a federal crime. You can go to prison, even if you think you're innocent. Say, I didn't know that's what was happening. I'm an internet marketer. This guy came on board. We just wanted to do business. I'm excited about growing my business. Isn't going to matter. Okay, you're still going to get nailed on a federal charge. They might not put you in prison because you're ignorant to what the laws are. Well, up until this video, and we're going to put up here the executive order. But here's the kicker. Do business correctly. My hat's off. I commend Paul and his team for taking quick action. I truly commend him for getting on this ASAP. We're setting the record straight. Now, I had a guy named Tony something, some sport over at MLM Help Desk, said, Dooley, you're blasting Oz and trashing Oz. I didn't blast Oz. Matter of fact, if you read the actual article, I make it very clear that I have the utmost respect for Oz over at behind MLM. Matter of fact, one of the reasons I got frustrated is because I have seen his ability to report over the last 3 years, and I think it's phenomenal. And the last couple of articles just seem less than what he's capable of. I do that all the time. But I believe that friends hold other friends accountable, and I look at Oz as a true friend, a true journalist in our space, and it's a tough space to be in because when you're writing pro articles about a company, everybody loves you. If you write a critical article about somebody, then all of a sudden you're working for somebody else, you're on the take, you're all this. And by the way, let me say on that, I do not believe Oz has ever worked for an organization or an agency. I believe just like all of us, sometimes we can get frustrated, we can become biased, and we write more opinion than we do facts. And I think that can happen to anybody. That's human nature. It doesn't matter how well of a journalist you want to be, how unbiased you want to be, you're going to be. I'm biased. I love network marketing, so I am truly biased towards the profession without any doubt whatsoever. Guys, take a look at this executive order. I'm going to put up the news that Paul just wrote. Again, we're going to be in there on the 18th, checking some stuff out, seeing what's going on. Live life like it's an epic adventure, and remember, you are network marketing. Act like it.